This is a tutorial on how to use the camera function of the HTC 7501, and it's going to be kind of disappointing because when I switch the camera on, you won't be able to see the picture that the camera is seeing. That's something to do with probably Windows Media and the capture program that I'm using, but you will be able to see the settings on the screen. Now, one writer wrote and said that she couldn't get the camera to come on by switching the camera button or by pressing the camera button on the right-hand side of the device. And I can tell you, I'm a professional photographer, so I have taken about 3 pictures with a cell phone in my life. And the other night I had the opportunity, because there were a bunch of us that were having dinner together and nobody brought a camera. So I managed to get the camera on the HTC 7501 going, but since I hadn't studied the manual, I wasn't able to capture pictures. So I figured better come back and read the blank manual stupid. And that's what I've done. So the first problem, it doesn't want to come up. There's a 2-level depression on this, a first click and a second click. And the first click, I think, focuses the picture, and the second click takes it. This you find on a lot of professional cameras. So what you have to do is press on that button until you feel 2 distinct clicks, and the one all the way down will activate the camera. So you press and hold all the way down, which I'm doing now, and the camera eventually comes up. Now you can't see the picture, but you do see the settings, so I'll try and go through them. First we'll start on this upper left-hand corner. It's set in the continuous mode, and you can take up to 30 pictures with that. And next, this is the camera mode, and that just takes 1 frame at a time. And I'll get into that just a little bit later. This is the movie mode, obviously, where you can make movies. The MMS, where you can take a picture and send it by MMS. Never have figured out how to use MMS, and if anybody knows how, please write me. Now this is a very useful one. It takes pictures for your contacts in Outlook. I think I will be using that all of the time, and actually it sets the camera in portrait mode instead of landscape mode, so you can take the pictures for your contacts. Now this is a cute little thing. You can frame your subject in this black hole. Actually there is a picture in there, but you can't see it, and then you can take pictures that way, and you have several templates that you can use. Nice one. Man or woman or person of the year. And on the hanger, clothesline hanger. And I think that's about all of the templates. Now we come back to the first. So, cute. And we go on. This is a panorama mode, so that you can take pictures and stitch them together and make a panorama, and that you will really need to read the manual on. I think it takes up about 1/3 of the screen. This is the sports mode for taking sports pictures, and it will do a burst of 5. Now we're back in the continuous mode, which will take up to 30 pictures. Now let's go back to the camera. And here you have the size of the picture. This is 3 megapixels, small, self-explanatory, medium, and large. And you notice how the number over here changes, and then we go back to 1 megapixel, 2 megapixels, and 3 megapixels. Now, this is very nifty because it tells where your pictures will be stored. And I have selected the micro drive. And so in the largest size, it will store 7,322. and that's on 8 gigabytes. So those pictures are rather large. So I could go and pick small, and it'll take about 350,000 and store them. Medium, 26,000 and change. Large, 42,000. Then we get into the really large size pictures. I guess if you want to publish a book, which I wouldn't advise with this camera, you can do that. So now we have other storage. This would be on the internal memory of the device. I would highly recommend against that. As you see, you would only get 185 pictures on the memory that I have left there. And we're going through 1, 2 megapixels, 3 megapixels. So I would stay away from the internal memory. And here's your storage card. And as you see, I've got a 4 gigabyte storage card in the device, and it will store 7,359 of the very large size pictures there. And go back. And then we have the micro drive, which will store that many. So I suggest the micro drive for storing pictures. Now let's go back through the controls on the bottom of the screen. This, of course, is your timer. Here is your white balance. And I have it on auto because I have a mixture of fluorescent and incandescent light, and the picture seems to be a pretty nice color. But you have sun, you have a nighttime, and you have incandescent. Plus, you have fluorescent. So I've just put it on auto, which I find is always the best way when you're working with any kind of fluorescent light. Here you have a flash, which is really an LED. It's not a flash, and it's on off. I can turn it on, and it instantly came on and made the picture much brighter. This shows where your focus point is. This is center weighted, and this takes an average of the whole picture. So like, say you're in a dark bar or restaurant. I wouldn't use this average because it will try and bring up the black walls in the background and overexpose the person in the foreground. I would come to the center weighted for exposure. And here you can make adjustments to your exposure manually. Really very nifty, all of this.